Good. Hi. It's a new year. I kind of want to do a little stream of consciousness type of thing, just to kind of talk about the last decade and how I've grown and how I've stepped back and just things like that. This is more something for me so I can look back and maybe just gauge how far I've come. Nope, it's gonna be too hot. So we'll start with 2009. I was 16. I turned 16. I was a sophomore in high school. I hate school years and how they don't coincide with years. Like, 2009, I was a sophomore, but I was also a junior at the end of it. But anyway, so sophomore year, I can't remember anything special happening. I was really into the Jonas Brothers at the time. I was in choir. Choir was beginning to be my life. And you can hear my nose all snuffly. Junior year, I decided to do the plays. They were so much fun. I think the most fun I ever had was doing different plays and musicals and just hanging out in the theater. It was so great. It's good. Don't mind my face. It's the sourness of the lemon. I don't know why I put so much in. 2010 was the year I had my last official relationship. We dated for about 4 months. I looked up to a lot of seniors, which is really strange because they were only a year older than me. But when they left, you could feel it in the theater mostly. There was a huge group of super funny, talented people who graduated in 2010, and it just was not the same. And then senior year happened, 2010 to 2011. It was the best school year I ever had, but it was also the most self-serving time in my life. I look back and I was selfish, arrogant, just privileged, very privileged, and it was the worst kind of senior to be. Like, I acted like I was God's gift to the school and the groups I was in, and I was just a person who could, hold a tune and was loud with it. So, dumbass. Okay, teabag. I fucking can't stand you. Get over there. I graduated, something I did not think I was going to do. Because the first few years I didn't give a lick about grades. I just went to school to see my friends, and I just had to sit in classes. That was just something that I had to do. I had a lot of friends in high school, mostly because I was just I was semi-outgoing, very extroverted, and just, I was likable, I suppose. As much as I could be likable with being as assholey as I was. When I got out of high school, I wanted to have those connections with those people still. And there was a few that I tried a few years after high school. I was still pretty good friends with the people, people who had went to my school. We drifted apart. As you do. End time of 2011, I moved to Portland with my best friend at the time. She and I, we didn't have it figured out. I tried 3 different colleges while I was up in Portland. I tried living in a studio apartment with her and her boyfriend. We, as being 18-year-olds, could not communicate to save our lives. We were horrible to each other, so passive aggressive. I think this was the first time I actually like heard the phrase passive aggression. Um, and I didn't want to be that. We were subtweeting, like I was texting my sister, like complaining all the time. I had brought another friend to the apartment as a kind of like someone on to be have someone on my side. So there was 4 people living in a studio apartment for a few months. God, it was crazy. It didn't end well, and I moved back home to my small town, and I felt a rift between my sister and I. My sister is about 15 years older than me, so I really kind of looked to her for guidance when I had no idea that I was being so demanding and I guess a little bit selfish with my needs, my needs, my needs. So I slipped into a depression at that point, which I didn't realize that that's what that was. Um, I had slipped into a depression and I stopped talking to her. And anytime I would think about talking to her, I would just get sad. I imagined writing her so many letters, and I remember crying myself to sleep at night, thinking about how much I wanted to talk to her and how I wouldn't get to do that anymore. Total misunderstanding. But I took it as, oh, I shouldn't talk to her, shouldn't talk to my sister unless I have my life perfectly figured out. And if that held true, I wouldn't be talking to her to this day, dumbass. 2012, I go to the community college in the town. That's my third college, sorry. I had 2 colleges in Portland, and then the third one was here. So I tried, and I don't like school. I don't like work, unless I'm passionate about it. So I kind of dove into the singing community there. The spring and summer of 2013, all I really did was sing. And then fall of 2013, there was an incident that happened. Looking back, like I am the person I am today because of what happened. And I wouldn't be able to be as strong as I am if that didn't happen. But I don't drive. I still don't drive to this day. And I was going to miss practice. My mom was somewhere, and everyone in the group who I had messaged, they wouldn't come get me. It sounds more dramatic than it is, but it did actually, it definitely, kicked the depression up a couple notches, and also introduced me to anxiety because I felt anxious, and the only thing I could do to stop it was to walk. That happened, and I tried to say it was okay, but I knew it wasn't. Going into the February of 2014, I tried to kill myself. Looking back, I don't think, because I just wanted people to know how they hurt me, but I couldn't get the words out. I'm optimistic about it, but who knows? Who knows what would have happened if I didn't let my mom know what I did through tears. So that happened. I sunk into an even deeper depression. I went through my life, I think it was 2000, I think all the way through 2014, I didn't do much. Unless that summer was the summer that I had my first job, but I'm not sure. We'll just skip to that because that's the next big thing in my life. I got a job at the movie theater in town because my best friend at the time worked there, and he was like, oh hey, we're hiring, and I put my application in, and I just happened to do it on the day that the general manager, or the day before the general manager was picking applications, and she called me while I was at choir rehearsal. So that must have been it. Yeah, it was 2014 then. But yeah, so I did that. But I wasn't good at the job. I was so not confident in myself. And it was only a seasonal position, and you could apply to be a regular, but I knew that they wouldn't pick me. You know what I mean? Um, just the way that I was, and I like didn't really pick up shifts, and they asked me to stay longer, and I just said no. And like, I would always give up my shifts to people who like needed the money because I lived at home. And we got free movies. That was the only perk there. So like, there was a lot of people who like had cars, they had car insurance, lived on their own. Like, I went, take them, take all the shifts because I technically don't need the money. Which is very nice of me, but also doesn't show any kind of like initiative. But anyway, during that summer was when I fell in love with One Direction. I watched their movie in theaters like 5 times because I could see it for free. So like, I mean, the years start getting kind of fuzzy after that. I think 2015, summer of 2015 was the first road trip I took. Me and my friend Kara, my friend Maddie, and my friend Amelia went road tripping on the West Coast to see Fall Out Boy and Paramore when they were touring together. That was fun. I met some cool people that I still follow on Instagram today. That was a really fun trip. Oh, it's sour. Yeah, so we went on a road trip. That was fun. Still heavily depressed. We would do a lot of things together, and I think it was because they were trying to help me stay alive. Because even though I didn't die, there was still a part of me that was like, kind of wish I wasn't here though. So yeah, so that was 2015. That's kind of the only thing I really remember. Oh, by the end of 2015, I had met my best friend Alyssa through Tumblr. 2016, I also got my first big person adult job. It was at a little post office in town. I had the job there for most of the year. 2016 was also the year that I waived my siblings, my sister and brother-in-law off. They moved to the Netherlands 2016. And since I had a job and I had a purpose, I was stable. That was so crazy to me. Like, it was definitely like the whole capitalism. If I die, like, who will cover my shift? So like, I stayed alive basically for that reason. And I did like it there. It was pretty low key. Early 2017 though, I wasn't quite there a year. I quit. Went back into a depression because I had no purpose again, blah, blah, blah. Oh, since I had a job the year before, I bought concert tickets and stuff. So I had went to see Panic at the Disco, Simple Plan, and All Time Low. So that kind of helped me until that fateful day. So that happened. I went back to my old job. It was like fall 2017. And then all of 2018, I had that job. All I did was work. I went to a few concerts as well, I think. I did fly to Tennessee to see Alyssa meet her, which was great. It was like seeing an old friend that you just saw last week. Like, it was nothing. It was great. I had lost my cat, my very dearest friend and companion. He passed away right after I visited Alyssa. Oh, I also went to Disneyland for my 25th birthday, along with my best friend, Jeff, whose birthday is also February 22nd, 1993. Yeah, we went for our 25th, and it was so fun, and that's a really happy trip for me, even though I got cranky because we stayed too long. Because I need my rest. Mama needs her rest. And then early 2019, I had quit the job with no other job in sight because I wanted to write. That's what I want to do with my life. I want to write a book that changes people's lives the way that I've had books change mine. In this decade, I read Aristotle and Dante, Discover the Secrets of the Universe. This is a very well-loved copy. but I read it and I was changed. I was very changed because it was during the time when I thought I was just so unlovable and so horrible. And I read it and I went, I'm not horrible. There's going to be someone out there, the people who are in my life right now, that love me as I am. So, but I want to do that. And I couldn't because I was working basically a 9-to-5 job. But it was technically part-time because healthcare, what's healthcare? But yeah, so early 2019, I quit. And at the same time, I scheduled and went to my first doctor's appointment. I got on medication for depression and anxiety. So I don't really know how to wrap this up. There were countless people I had in my life at the beginning of the decade, and now they're but a small blimp on my timeline. I did learn some very valuable and hard lessons because of them, but I am good where I'm at right now. I have my people that I love, and I have my passions, and I know what makes me laugh. But yeah, I am better for the things, the creatures, the people who have woven themselves into the tapestry of my existence, but I don't need to go back over those fabrics. I will make new fabrics. I will take old thread and I will patch myself a larger quilt. Anyway, along with mentally and emotionally, physically, I changed too. It's just wild. I changed my eyebrow shapes like a million times. But yeah, Happy New Year, everyone. I hope this last decade has done something good for you. I hope the next time I sit down to talk about my life, there's more good in it. But yeah, well, this has been fun. I'm gonna go reheat my tea because it's absolutely not warm anymore. I will see you guys in the next one when I get some sort of epiphany of what I should do. Okay, bye.